What is going on, YouTube? I'd like to welcome you guys back to Red's World. Today we're going to be doing something that I've been requested, actually. So one of the things that I get a lot of compliments on for my channel is my thumbnails. And if you watch any videos about like how to sustain your channel and how to grow, number one is always consistency, just uploading a lot of content. And then, somewhere in the top five is always thumbnails. And the reason why thumbnails are so popular is because they essentially grab the attention of people who are searching. So if, say, I play the new Xbox Series X, and then someone else plays it, what's going to make it more appealing than his video? The way that I word the title and the way that I make the thumbnail look. So, a lot of your first impression is going to make or break whether or not someone clicks on your video over someone else's. So today I'm going to kind of show you guys essentially the thought process that goes through for me while I'm making thumbnails. I'm also going to show you guys how to make the thumbnails with a slight tutorial. I'm not going to go too in depth. It would just take way too long. I'm not trying to release, a 40-minute video on how to use the software and stuff like that. But I will show you guys the software I use, how I use it. I'm not going to teach you guys how to use it, but I will show you how I use it personally. And most importantly, just the process, the idea. So once again, thank you guys for coming to Red's World, but let's go ahead and hop into it. All right, so the number one thing you want when you basically create a thumbnail is you want to have the ability to come up with an idea. So I'm going to brainstorm for a second. You could use the internet to your advantage. Look up what's trending. Look up, anything that, like, say you like a certain game or something. Type that game name in and then let it autofill and see stuff like that. Like, try to also use, the way the algorithm promotes stuff and the things that are trending to your advantage. So one of the immediate ideas I got was the next gen consoles. So what I'm planning to do with, and again, this has been 2 minutes since I did the intro. You just have to think about what's popular and how to make it your own creation. So for me, I just thought next gen consoles. But one of the things that I think is funny is a lot of people are talking about the size of them. And I want to do something that kind of creates the illusion of a much bigger version of those consoles. So as you can see over here, I pulled up some skylines and I looked through a couple of the pictures, and I think I like this picture here because it's straight on. Like a more over the top photo like this, I'm gonna have to do something with all of these buildings. But because where's it at? I lost it. Here we go. Because the way this is angled, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take this and turn this into a next gen city. So let me go ahead and save this image. Bam, we got it saved. Now you want to go over to Photoshop. Actually, no, not yet. We're going to look up a PS5. And again, with this kind of stuff, you want to make sure you get something like, see how this background is white? If you use that, it's going to be hard to separate the console from the background because the console is white. Something like this is fantastic. So I'm going to save that image. Should be able to get both of those very easily off of those photos. So when you go to File, you open and then go to the pictures you downloaded and open every one of them. So for me, I only downloaded 2 photos. Now what I'm gonna do is by the way, I'm using Photoshop, but I just erase the background. Bam, bam. Now you can see there's a little bit of an outline on the PlayStation here. Now instead of sitting here and trying to touch that up with an eraser, we'll get this stuff out of here. But just go up to Layer, Matting, Defringe, and usually that'll take care of it. It doesn't look like it did that good this time, so now again we're going to clean this up with an eraser. And again, these are going to be big buildings, so I'm going to be like putting them into the ground and things like that. So don't worry too much about every little pixel, because when you zoom out, you don't even notice. So don't worry about every single pixel, but you do want to keep as much detail as you can. Alright, so basically now what we would do is take both of these layers, edit, copy, take it over to the next photo, paste, bam. But again, so it's mainly the idea. The idea is what's going to get you there. You don't want to come in with a lack of ideas, because if you do, then essentially you're not going to have an idea. So right off the bat, bam, we got an Xbox building. Now I actually changed my mind. I want the next gen consoles on here, but considering there's so many buildings, I may end up putting more consoles in. So this is where the idea has to keep flowing. You don't just, okay, yeah, that's what I want to do. Like, no, now I have to see, do I want to put in like a GameCube or something down here on one of the smaller buildings? But we'll see what happens. I'll update you guys. I'm not going to keep you guys here the whole time because this could take a little bit. But I'll update you guys. Alright, so as you can see here, I have finished the photo. I told you guys I would keep you a little more updated, but honestly it just went on a wild tangent and became PlayStation and Xbox City. Put a little motto, where gamers live. It creates this illusion of a place. Even if it is something stupid or goofy or whatever it is, sometimes that's the best thing, and sometimes having them look obviously fake but also some sort of weird dystopia creates an illusion of the world being unique. You don't want it to be hyper realistic. If you can get to that level and pull it off and still have the uniqueness, that's fine as well. But obviously you could tell these are just pictures of the consoles, and then I just resized them, blended them in, put the trees over them, fixed the background, fixed the sky, put some text on it. Not really that big of a deal, but also, like, say I made a video and said, which consoles are the best, or something like that. This would be a perfect thumbnail for that. Things like that. As I said, you want to always make sure that your thumbnails are relevant to what you're doing. I'm doing a video for how to make a thumbnail, or at least the idea of how to get an idea for a thumbnail or how to put it together. I'm not, like I said, tutorialing on Photoshop. There's tons of videos for that. It takes a lot of time, but getting the idea for a thumbnail is one of the hardest things that people don't tell you. They tell you, oh, make good thumbnails, but they don't tell you how to make good thumbnails, because they can't. It's all about opening your mind and coming up with an idea. So as at the start of the video you guys seen, I was just said, like, oh, next gen consoles are trending, I might make a next gen city or something. But considering I didn't really have an idea for the video other than just thumbnails, I let my mind go and created Xbox PlayStation City. But as to where, if I was making a specific video about next gen, I would make sure either to just, well, it really just depends on the idea you get, but just make sure you incorporate the next gen consoles. Try not to make it too much about the other things, unless, like, basically with, like, guns having a civil war or something. That would be funny. That'd be a good thumbnail. Good thumbnail idea right there off the top. But that's the kind of mind you have to be able to create thumbnail ideas. And the idea is the most important thing. The execution doesn't even matter that much, as long as you kind of get the idea of what you were doing. And there are also a lot of softwares that you can at least, like, stick photos together. So don't, come up with an excuse or anything like that. Make sure you try to utilize the software you have, get familiar with it, Photoshop things. What I did a lot to get better at Photoshopping, I would go on, like, Reddit or trending or something on Twitter or YouTube, and take those ideas and basically try to mix it into an idea for a photo, and I would go try to make it. And at first it wasn't the greatest, but as you do it more and more, you get more ideas, you learn the software better, so on and so forth. So again, here we are. We got our where gamers live in peace. I've painted a picture of a unique world where there is no such thing as console wars. So I might come out with a video called Console Wars or something, and now make a counter to this, and at the top have the writing not white and cloudy, and have it more like blood or something. You know what I mean? So, but again, it's so much about the idea. Don't let any sort of I don't know how to Photoshop or something. Any sort of excuse like that, because at the end of the day, even if you're the worst at Photoshopping, you're probably going to do something different than what most people would do. If everyone in the world was good at Photoshop and you sucked at it, your art would be more unique because everyone else would be great at it. So just remember that, and make sure you understand that, again, thumbnails are one of the most important things when making a video. So this is my quick little tutorial slash showcase of my process of making a thumbnail. And, I know this may not be that informative on, how to necessarily make one, but the most important idea that people don't talk about is the process of starting a thumbnail. You guys can see my socials right here, so if you want to go follow them just to keep up or subscribe, definitely do that. But as always, thank you guys for coming to Red's World. Stay tuned for more to come soon, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
I show the pain in the people we paint in the pavement, pour blood on the precipice. I can tell what you are thinking, we're breaking and caving in all of the relevant media sources, cross swords with the forces and forces.